As we all understand nowadays that apart from physical imbalances or physical problems, we come across with mental problems a lot in our day-to-day life, whether it is stress, anxiety, depression, or even panic attack or other kind of problem. So what Ayurveda talk to us and advise us that what kind of daily routine one can follow to minimize the impact of such problem, because most of the time when we see such problems are there, either people have to use sleeping pills or antidepressant or other kind of various drugs, whether you use natural product or other. But if one can understand that why these issues are happening with me on a day-to-day basis and how with my own effort I can minimize, for that Ayurveda talk about that apart from your other daily routine, you must follow two minimum routine for your mental balance. And for those two regimes are, one is that no matter how busy you are at the end of the day, before going to bed, you must give yourself 10 minutes, if not more, to review the day, to process the thought. That is the key element as far as the mental balance comes up. When we're talking about mental problem, in Ayurveda we always talk about that mind-body harmony is the crucial part. When that harmony gets disturbed, that is where we always will have the issues related with the mental problem. So how that harmony can be sustained and maintained is that when we are able to process our day-to-day thoughts, emotions which come across to every one of us on a daily basis and able to process them before we go to bed. Because if we don't do that, what happens that when we go to bed, these all will start coming in front of our eyes and they will then create a disharmony between mind and body and will not let us get into deep sleep. And when we wake up in the morning, no matter even if you have an 8-hour sleep or 10-hour sleep, person will feel quite fatigued and tired and not optimum, and they then start getting into the shelter of coffee or other stimulant. But what Ayurveda talk about that this is only because when you have not processed your thoughts on a daily basis. So what one should do, no matter how busy you are, before going to bed, sit in a quiet 10 minutes with yourself. Close your eyes or not close your eyes, that is your call. But try to then bring what has happened throughout the day, good and bad. If certain thing has happened good, what was my role in that? If certain thing has happened wrong, what was my role in that and how I could have avoided them. So that is what we call as processing the thought. Because we all know that during the day, through our work, we come across with so many issues, good or bad. We call them as our emotions. And we get affected by them, but normally we feel that we are done with them. Basically, we are not done with them. They are always there in the back of my mind. And when we go to the bed, they will start coming in front of me. And these emotions, these situations, even though other person might not be able to recognize, or even if they are recognizing, they are not able to tell you because whatever certain reason. But inside, I always know that I have done something wrong, which we call as your chit, your consciousness will always know what I have done, good and bad. I will just give you an example. For example, if you are an employer and you're sitting in your office and doing certain things and you got on a phone call which make you upset, and then you go out of your office and you find one of your employee is just sitting in the kitchen area or rest area and doing nothing, you start getting a bit grumpy with him or her that why you are sitting here and not doing anything, and just say a few words to him and come back to your room, and that the person, your employee, could not tell you anything because he or she respects you and sort of whatever reason. And when you come back and at the end when you go to bed, and before bed when you are trying to process your thought, you will recognize that that instance of my day when I was reacting to my employee, I actually reacted in a wrong way because I should not have said those things to her or him, because I was actually upset due to some other issues which I received on a phone call, and that employee, she was on her lunch break or morning tea break after finishing her job and was just resting there for a few minutes. So in this way you have recognized your fault or your action. Now that action which was putting a lot of pressure on your heart, on your conscious anyway, and was going to disturb your sleep, by making and recognizing this, you actually have acknowledged that your action was wrong, and you are going to make a commitment with yourself that next time when I am in such a situation, I will make sure that I don't react impatiently and try to analyze or try to assess the situation so that I don't end up into same situation again. By doing that, you have taken a lot of pressure off your consciousness and you can go to sleep with a lot of peace. Second part, with the same situation, what you're going to do is, you're going to make a simple commitment there and then with yourself that next morning when I see my employee again, I will just say sorry to him that look, this thing happened due to this reason. This way, you are actually creating a better rapport, better connection, better respect with that employee, because your employee intuitively will then know that if my boss has done something wrong, he has the courage, he has that strength to come and acknowledge his or her fault. And if he has not come and he has said me something, it means I need to look at myself so that I can amend, because he never come and say wrong things to us. So that way you are always in a win-win situation, and by doing that you can actually make a lot of space in your mind and bring a mind and body in harmony. Now the second important aspect for this regime, for mental balance, what you need to do is, after doing this, you must do the second part, which is stand in front of the mirror for 5 minutes and look into your eyes. And what you need to do is, while looking into your eyes, you need to put your hand on your heart and talk and speak initially loudly, later on you can speak in sleep. Have I done anything wrong? And keep repeating this for 5 minutes. And in those 5 minutes, if you can keep looking into your eyes and you don't need to take your eyes away from your eyes, then you can go to bed without any problem and you will have a sound sleep. But if in those 5 minutes, even for a 1 second, you have to take your eyes away from your eyes, then sit there and then identify that what wrong I have done, what has gone wrong with me, and try to acknowledge it and try to make an honest commitment that I will make sure that next time this does not happen. Whether it relates with your family, whether it relates with your work situation, whether it relates with your children, whether it relates with your friend. Those who can follow these two regimes on a regular basis in their life, I can assure you, you might suffer from any other problem in your life at a physical level, but you will never ever end up with any mental problem in your life. That strong these regimes are. And then after that, there are specific other regimes for mental balance, which we call as our clinical guided meditation technique, which can be taught by us through different ways, and then also incorporating and understanding the emotional healing program, which from Ayurvedic aspect, Ayurvedic practitioner can advise you. So these are the ways to stabilize your mental balance, but the most important is these self-regime daily routines for your mental balance. Thank you.